Track crew maintenance team. We need one of the photographer boxes moved back. It is too close to the apex on one side. Track crew, if you are on track crew maintenance, one of the photography boxes is too close to the apex jump. Please move it back a few inches. All right, folks. Welcome to Richmond, Virginia. We'll be getting started with our People's Battle of Richmond in just a moment here. The first game of the weekend going to be Greenville Roller Derby's Bridge Trolls versus Twin Valleys Roller Derby Mountain Mayhem. Getting started in just a moment. I'm Smack Mamba, and I'm joined today by my teammate, the little Swole Maid, announcing today for you.
Good morning.
Just waiting for the okay from our officials, and then we'll do some roster announcements for Greenville and for Twin Valleys. Yeah, I don't want to mess with them. All right, testing one more time, making sure we've got these levels right. We are officially live with this game being streamed.
All right, looks like game one is about to begin.
Starting on the jam line today, we are sponsored by Plug It Up Podcast on the jam line there, a horror movie podcast about the monstrous feminine. Jam is on. We've got our first game of the day started. Greenville here is up in the front of the pack, holding their Twin Valleys blocker, or jammer. And that's going to be number 3, Shaw, as our lead jammer. Panamaniac going to the box for Twin Valleys. The Greenville jammer is still pushing through. Number 2, it's going to be Anna Rowland. Or Ann Rowland, sorry about that. Bridge Trolls 4, Mountain Mayhem 0.
Little fact about Greenville, it's not only their first year as a team, but this is their first official tournament. Greenville putting on the star. That's the whistle. Greenville jammer up on the outside. Lead jammer Greenville. TBRD not far behind. Homa covers off, but she's through.
Got a bit of a scoreboard change-up happening there. Give you an updated score in just a moment. Out on the jam line for Twin Valleys, we have Black Bolt. And number 20 for Greenville is going to be Snatchbox. Jam is on. Greenville tripod up in the front, tries to hold back Black Bolt. currently down a skater with one blocker in the box, and Black Bolt is out as your lead jammer for Twin Valleys. Number 20, Snatchbox, works to get through, but is taken down by 138 for Greenville. That's going to be Cupcake, who's also the captain for this game. Both jammers are currently out. Jam is called off. Looks like we've got a bit of a scoreboard update there, with it actually being Bridge Trolls 1, Mountain Mayhem 8. Just shaking off the rust this morning, getting the day started.
We're here at the Greater Richmond Convention Center in Richmond, Virginia. We'll be here all weekend. Tons of vendors here. Looks like Ultraviolence on the jam line for Twin Valley. Again, Bridge Trolls 1, Mountain Mayhem 8. Waiting on that next whistle to start the jam. Okay. I mentioned those vendors. Fifth City Print Club. They're a local skater-owned shop selling handmade skate-themed apparel and more. Jam's on. Got that tripod in the back by Greenville. The Greenville jammer scooping through on the outside. Took a hit but made it through. That's 187. Murder Blossom. Ultraviolet stuck in the back of the pack there. Greenville with some strong defense work. And 4 points for the jammer. Greenville jammer second pass. TVRD jammer taking some hits up front. Murder Blossom looking for some help there from her friends and through on the outside. Another 4 points for Greenville. Some big hits on the outside, but 138. Oh. There was a star pass there by TVRD. To Tornado Alley. Greenville calls off the jam.
And we have a lead change with now Bridge Trolls 11, Mountain Mayhem 8. Consistently back and forth in that last jam.
It's a great run for Greenville there.
As these skaters set up, we'll go ahead and talk about one of our other sponsors this weekend, Sacred Roller Skate Supply, stationed over there in the back, by the way. Your source for high-quality skates and gear, custom builds, and community engagement. Queer-owned and operated since 2020, Sacred brings not only a unique passion for fostering a supportive environment for skaters of all levels and all identities, but also industry-leading brands to support a safe skating lifestyle. Whether it's roller derby, park skating, rink, or recreational, Sacred has you covered. We have this jam on now with Twin Valley's jammer up here in the front going against this Greenville tripod. Blockers patiently waiting before they leave to help out their jammer. And just consistently reforming around this jammer is the Greenville jammer number 2. That's going to be Ann Rowland back out there again for the second time today. Just a sticky, slow jam for both of these skaters. Sometimes it's just like that. You're just grinding away what feels like forever. But thankfully for these skaters, the longest they'll have to go today is 2 minutes at a time. Unfortunately, it looks like number 2, Ann Rowland, is going to be going to the box for a power jam. This Power Jam is brought to you by My Pussies in Hell podcast, your favorite gruesome twosome podcast. So glad this is being recorded. All right, we have Shaw out as your lead jammer for Twin Valleys. Bridge Trolls set up in here in the front and a strong tripod anticipating that jammer. And we see the Twin Valleys offense go in and try to do a sweep here, opening up some lanes there for their jammer, and it is successful as Shaw calls it off. And we have yet again another lead change with Mountain Mayhem now at 12, Bridge Trolls 11.
Greenville's jammer still in the box. Will be a Power Jam start for TVRD. Huge shout out to our refs and NSOs. Refs, thanks for coming and doing what you do. It couldn't be possible without you. Power Jam here for TVRD. Getting caught up in that tripod by the front. TVRD pulling back for a no pack. Their jammer's through. A little lawless, lead jammer status. And rolling through the box. And rolling about to hit the back of the pack. Little lawless called it off. It's Bridge Trolls 11, Mountain Mayhem 15. Close game.
All right, setting up for this next jam again for Twin Valleys, we have Black Bolt out there on the jam line. And I believe that might be Meg Psychotic on the back as a jammer for Greenville there. Oh. $95 to 2. Oh, I apologize. That is Stormy Skies out there for Greenville as our lead jammer quickly calls it off before Bolt can pick up any points. Apologies about the name mix-up there.
Looks like Bridge Trolls gained 1 point on that, 14 to 15. Mountain Mayhem in lead by 1 point. That's the jam start. Greenville jammer right through in the front of the pack. Looks like that's number 20, Snatchbox, lead jammer. TVRD jammer still working that tripod in the front. Greenville jammer right through. Snatchbox for 4 points. Some big hits by Greenville on the inside. Their jammer approaches again. Little tiptoeing around. Right through for 4 more points. Helmet covers off. TVRD, and there was a successful panty pass to the pivot, number 183. Tornado Alley. Greenville jammer approaching them one more time. And through for a few points and calls it off.
Greenville coming off the track, very excited about that last jam. Current score is Bridge Trolls 26, Mountain Mayhem 15. Still early into this game. Both teams lined up here on the jam line as we get started. We have Murder Blossom out there for Greenville as the jammer currently. Both jammers stuck behind the pack. Greenville's jammer, Murder Blossom, gets a big hit there as they almost get out at the front with 2 Twin Valley skaters just holding it down the front, but Murder Blossom's able to get out and get lead jam. Currently number 8, pin pushing down with a skate maintenance issue, it looks like. As Twin Valleys tries to reform, hold back Murder Blossom. Shaw escaping with a panty pass there from Twin Valleys. It looks like Shaw just simply put back on the hat. The jam is called off by Greenville. Currently down 1 skater as we go into this next jam.
And jam's on. TVRD jammer working that front. Greenville in the back with a tripod. And that's ultraviolet jamming for TVRD. They're through.
No, it's not. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, number 52, Little Lawless. Greenville jammer close behind, gotten out pretty quickly there. Little Lawless going for those points. Greenville's tripod in the front. Some strong block in there. Number 51 in the front by Greenville. Cello Shots was holding back the pack. And still working through the pack up front there and calling it off.
Looks like we've got some Greenville fans in the audience over there. Heading into this next jam. Looks like we've been given a timeout. Current score is Bridge Trolls 33 to Mountain Mayhem 18. Let's go ahead and talk about one of our sponsors. This sponsor is where our final after party of the weekend is going to be at, Bingo Beer Co. Join us for the ultimate after party on Sunday after the final game at Bingo Beer Co. on 2900 West Broad Street. They're running a pizza and beer special just for us. I am excited. I haven't been yet.
Sounds fun.
Getting a bit of track maintenance out there. Need some tape from one of our track maintenance crew folks.
I was waiting for someone to start dancing, and it looks like number 8 is dancing, so thank you.
Oh, that's pin pushing out there, I think. Always has the best moves.
Yep, pin pushing, thank you.
All right, looks like we've got some tape coming. We'll have the game start back up here in just a moment.
We've got lots of vendors here this weekend. Altered Go-Kart. They have some handmade patches, stickers, and prints. It's so gay and cute. We'll have to check you out.
Sometimes it takes the whole team to fix the track.
It's true. And sometimes it takes us to fix each other. Shout out to our EMTs and all they do, keeping a watchful eye as the game's going on, making sure that everyone is safe and gets help if needed.
Again, this is game 1 of day 1, so we're working out all the small technical things right now. But keep coming back all weekend as we just get better and better.
I will promise the announcing will be better than this game 2. I think everyone needs some coffee this morning. Still waking up.
Another one of our sponsors this weekend is Haunts of Richmond, locally owned and operated, celebrating 20 years as Richmond's haunted history professionals. Public tours, private tours, and special events are offered year-round. Tickets are available at hauntsofrichmond.com. Check out Haunts of Richmond on all socials. I've also heard that Fort Myers team, I believe, is going on one of those ghost tours tomorrow.
Oh, that's awesome.
And jam is back on. We have Black Bolt out there for Twin Valleys with some beautiful footwork on that inside line, skipping over Greenville's hips as they go back and try to help their jammer out. With both jammers now escaping the box, that's going to be number 95. That's Stormy Skies out there for Greenville. Bolt gets some help there from, I believe that is A Cupcake out on the track.
Ooh, this floor here at GRCC is so unforgiving.
That's Tornado Alley out there jamming for the next one for Twin Valleys.
Got Tornado Alley out on the jam line. Skaters are now taking it the Plug It Up podcast jam line. It's a horror movie podcast about a monstrous feminine. All right, jam's on. TVRD jammer up in the front working through those. They are working hard. Both those jammers working hard. Looks like Greenville jammer, lead jammer. That's number 20. Snatchbox. Snatchbox with lead jammer, TVRD jammer up through the front there. A little turnaround and up through. All right, looks like Greenville's jammer's in the box now. TVRD jammer approaching. Greenville working that defense. Audience yelling, make a hole. Little turnaround there by 813. Cake right through. Tornado Alley. Sent to the box. Greenville's jammer. Snatchbox released. No two jammers can be in the box at the same time, and if they are, it's not for very long. Right through on that pass, coming back around, trying to rack up those points. Communicating with their teammate there. Working really hard up front, trying to push up that wall. Still working in through, nice. TVRD's jammer's released from the box. Yep, got through on the inside there. And now everyone's just scoring points. Greenville's jammer through on a little slide on the knee there. And the jam's over. A 2-minute jam.
Quite a few points picked up in that last jam, with Bridge Trolls now at 48, Mountain Mayhem at 26. Jam is on. Greenville up here in the front holding the Twin Valleys jammer. Just pushing through the seam there, and that's going to be number 3, Shaw, who we've seen out a few times today. Still early in the day and of the weekend, of course. Looks like 187, that's going to be Murder Blossom is out there for Greenville and almost gets through, but gets pushed to that inside as Shaw gets through on a small apex jump there. Going chest to chest there, it looks like up against Cupcake.
Some strong blocking by Cupcake there in the front.
And the jam is called off.
If you're here at GRCC with us this weekend, please check out Ghost Girl Creative, a Derby-owned, queer-owned soft stuff, hard stuff, dead stuff. Five seconds.
All right, out here on the jam line, let's see who we've got.
I think that's Lawless in the back there jamming for TVRD, I believe.
just a super sticky wall here that hasn't quite passed the pivot line, with both teams just holding strong. And looks like we've got number 2. That's going to be Ann Rowland out as your lead jammer in this round. Number 17 for Twin Valleys, that's going to be Vestigial Grimm, tries to push forward that last blocker. Getting pin pushing, who's taking a panty pass out of the box for Twin Valleys. With Ann Rowland calling off the jam. Bridge Trolls 52, Mountain Mayhem 34.
Still a close game for sure. Greenville Roller Derby has 2 teams here this weekend with us. Their A team and their B team are both playing multiple games, so you'll see lots of Greenville on the track this weekend. Greenville through the outside with lead jammer status. It's number 95, Stormy Skies. TVRD with a panty pass to the pivot. Pin cushion number 8. Huge hit by Cupcake on the inside for Greenville's jammer and forced the call off there. '53 Bridge Trolls, Mountain Mayhem 34.
Greenville's been holding Twin Valleys at that point for a while now. Still 10 minutes left in this first half, though. Looks like for Twin Valleys out there, we have number 400, Ultraviolent, out on the jam line. And number 20, that's going to be Snatchbox, gets out again as lead jammer for Greenville. Ooh, with a big hit by number 252. But Ultraviolent is still able to stay in bounds. Escaping the pack. Just as Snatchbox comes around and claims points before Ultraviolent can pick up any. Again, just holding that point spread. Bridge Trolls 57, Mountain Mayhem 34.
RCRD wants to shout out Equinox Counseling. Thanks to Equinox Behavioral Health. Explore, learn, share, and evolve. Mental health is health. TVRD on the line. They were ready to go for sure. We got a timeout Greenville here. If you're here with us this weekend, don't forget to check out RCRD's merch table. We got pins, buttons, sweatshirts, all your RCRD merch that you could possibly need. We also want to thank Kinker Press. Thank you, Kinker Press, for printing our programs. If you're coming to check out PBR this year, definitely get one of our beautiful programs that Kinker Print had made for us.
All right, going into this next jam, Bridge Trolls 57, Mountain Mayhem 34. Jam is on. Looks like we have number 3, Shaw, is out as lead jammer again for Twin Valleys. TVRD recycling the jammer back again, holding with a strong tripod in the front as Panamaniac holds as the brace. Shaw squeezes by, bumping number 2. That's going to be Anna Rowland again. Ann Rowland. As both these jammers approach the pack, not far behind one another. Shaw decides to get through and pick up some more points while they can. With TVRD reforming around Ann Rowland there at the front. Greenville attempted to separate the pack there by holding off one of the blockers, but manages to stay in the back to hold Shaw for a little bit and Roland gets out again as the jammer. Bridge Trolls 61, Mountain Mayhem 46. Getting some points on the board in that last one.
Whistles. Oh, a multiplayer block called on Greenville. TVRD jammer working the inside line. Greenville reforming. Greenville jammer slipped through the outside. That's number 20, Snatchbox with lead jammer. Coming around for that scoring pass. TVRD jammer is through. Coming around as well. Some big hits outside by number 17. And Greenville calls it off.
Both teams hustling to the jam line out there, set up for this next round. As we have Black Bolt out there for Twin Valleys.
Black Bolt's had some amazing footwork this game, and we're just getting started for this weekend.
Everybody's still waking up. Both jammers stuck on that inside line there as we start this jam. We have jammers on each side of the track. Seeing who's going to get out first as this pack speeds up. That looks like at the front there, it's number 187, Murder Blossom, who I believe is our lead jammer, even though Black Bolt has gotten out as well. See what they decide to do. Greenville signs to go ahead and call it off before Black Bolt can pick up any points. Bridge Tolls 64, Mountain Mayhem 46 with just over 5 minutes left in this half. We are also sponsored this weekend by the Fox and Lamb. Fox and Lamb.
Jam on. TVRD jammer trying to take the inside.
Big hit there on the inside.
Number 3, Shaw through. Lead jammer. Greenville trying to get right through behind, but number 8, some big hits on the Greenville jammer there. Number 8 is pin pushing.
Great little apex jump there by Shaw with some really great two-wall work there by Panamaniac and one of the other Twin Valley blockers.
Ooh, little inside offense there. The Greenville jammer's through.
And Roland, who we've seen on the jam line a few times this weekend, finally escapes the pack.
Shaw calling off the jam. Beautiful offense work there.
Four minutes left in this half, so we got maybe 2 jams, 3 if we're lucky. Current score, 64 for Greenville, 52 Mountain Mayhem. Just a few points separating this game right now. Jam is on as we have Ultraviolent out there for TVRD trying to get through on the inside, but it's going to be number 95 for Greenville. That's going to be Stormy Skies out there again, who we've seen a few times out as a jammer. Greenville setting up a tripod here in the front, trying to hold both teams, and Stormy calls off the jam. Not allowing Twin Valleys to pick up any in that last part.
Right after this game, we have Naptown Warning Bells versus River City Rats.
Don't hold me to it, but I think The first time I came to watch River City at the D1 tournament was here at the convention center, and Naptown's A team, I believe, played that weekend, and I didn't know where they were from, but they kicked a lot of ass that weekend. Unless, of course, I'm mixing them up because I've been playing for 13 years and it all bleeds together.
Jams on. Stormy skies for
Snatch
Black
Box.
Bolt up front.
We've got Snatch Box going against Black Bolt there, with Black Bolt getting lead jam for Twin Valleys.
Spun right out that front block there and got lead jammer. Black Bolt hit the back of the pack again.
Gotta commend Twin Valleys here for their partner work in the front. They've had consistent 2 walls that try to shut down those jammers, and they're able to hold their own really successfully. But Cupcake will be going to the box in this jam, leaving Twin Valleys down 2 blockers.
Looks like Ann Rowland's on the jam line for Greenville.
Looks like we've got number 8 Pin Pushing, holding it down out there with their Twin Valleys teammate.
And I think that's Lawless in the back.
Both of these teams locking down on that jam line. Look at this beautiful wall in the front there by Greenville. Pin Pushing with a big hit to the inside, takes out number 2. That's going to be Ann Rowland out there. No lead has been declared just yet, with Greenville reforming to hold the Twin Valleys blocker. Pin Pushing still has a great hold there on the Greenville jammer. With a now hitting Ann Rowland to the outside. Shaw scoots through but is given a track cut. Number 3 for Twin Valleys going to the box. Which means Ann Rowland's out there with a power jam.
And Rowland about to hit the back of the pack. Waiting for a team, set something up, and they did. Right through the offense on the outside. Beautiful.
Takes a lot of patience as a jammer to wait for that offense. And the Greenville bench signals to call off that jam, starting this next one off with a power jam. Greenville is down 1 blocker, with Shaw for Twin Valleys starting in the box.
A power jam start is never a bad thing.
Now, that doesn't mean that this necessarily will be a lead jam for Greenville. There is always an opportunity for the jammer in the box to get out and get lead when it starts off as a power jam in this scenario. Current score, Bridge Trolls 71, Mountain Mayhem 54, last jam of this half. Unfortunately, it looks like they fielded a skater a little too late, with Tornado Alley going back to the bench for Twin Valleys. And number 95, that's going to be Stormy Skies out there with a power jam for a very short amount of time, as Shaw has now escaped from the box and has gotten through the pack. Stormy calls it off, and that'll be half. We'll see you back here in 15 minutes. Bridge Trolls 71, Mountain Mayhem 54. And the jam is on. Tornado Alley gets recycled back here with number 2. That's going to be Ann Rowland. Back out, jamming again for us in the second half with Tornado Alley escaping the pack. Ann Rowland calls it off as she tries to get through the wall here.
Twin Valleys on the jam line. Skaters are now taking the Plug It Up podcast jam line, a horror movie podcast about monstrous feminine. Looks like Shaw out there for TVRD. Greenville jammer working the back. Little toe stop action, trying to get through the outside. Power jam, lead jammer, Shaw, number 3. Coming back around, Greenville jammer still stuck in the back of the pack. TVR trying to reform against the jammer. Shaw hitting the back of the pack. Looks like there is a track cut call.
That's going to be another power jam there for Greenville. This power jam is brought to you by the My Pussy Is in Hell podcast, your favorite gruesome twosome podcast.
Looks like Greenville's jammer just got a penalty there. That's Stormy Skies going to the box.
Again, both jammers cannot be in the box at the same time. So that means that Greenville will be serving the remainder of Shaw's time as Shaw returns from the box.
TVRD with the offense set up there. Shaw pushing them up. Greenville trying to reform around. And Shaw, little hip dip through there. 4-point pass. Shaw coming back around. Looks like Greenville's jammer's out of the box and working in the back of the pack, try to get through. TVRD holding that jammer back. Greenville with some strong D in the front. Knocking Shaw out. Greenville jammer through. Stormy Skies. TVRD and jammer right behind, and now they're pretty much neck and neck. And the jam is called.
Great work from both jammers in that last round.
One of my favorite things about roller derby is the fan base that we have, and I want to shout out this guy right here that has a sign that says Roller Girls Rock. Rumor has it there's a application on the back of that sign if anyone is interested filling that out for this gentleman.
Jam is on with Black Bolt out there for Twin Valleys going up against, let's see here for Greenville. Number 20.
Snatchbox.
Both jammers stuck behind strong walls from both teams here.
It's a really good defense from both teams.
Greenville recycling up to hold the Twin Valleys jammer just a little bit longer, with neither team quite passing the pivot line until just now. With still no lead jammer, with these jammers just consistently getting recycled and ran back. Pin pushing, holding a bridge here for both teams. Making sure that they're able to hold on to number 20 Snatchbox.
TVRD has some gorgeous reform in the back.
Black Bolt looks for a little help there, I believe. That's going to be number 369 Luger out there trying to provide some O for Black Bolt. Big hit to the inside by pin pushing number 8 for Twin Valleys.
Pin pushing has some serious defense this game. giving those last hits to knock that jammer out of bounds.
Snatchbox finally gets through a little bit, but is pushed to the inside line that I brought by Cupcake. Unfortunately, Cupcake will be getting a penalty for that, though. With Black Bolt still working at the front here, trying to get by.
Looks like Snatchbox sneak through.
It's just a hard jam for both jammers. Nobody is moving off that turn at the moment. Phenomenal tripod here in the front by Twin Valleys, held by Pin Push and Panamaniac and Luger. Current score, 77 Bridge Trolls, Mountain Mayhem 62.
Super impressed with the defense on both of these teams. The recycling on those walls is gorgeous. And the jam's on. Both jammers stuck behind strong tripods. There was a little slip there. TBR Jr. almost got through, and then Greenville kind of catch. There we go. Greenville jammer through. Number 2. Anna Rowland. Anna Rowland has been rolling today for sure. And that's 400 jamming for TVRD. Ultraviolent. It's a low block call there on Greenville jammer. TVR jammer through, and
with Fanable Lecter going to the box for Greenville. Big hit on the outside there by Greenville's pivot.
And Anna Rowland calls it off. Current score, Bridge Trolls 77, Mountain Mayhem 65. Oh, 79 Bridge Trolls, Mayhem 65.
Yeah, you think so? Okay. Setting up here for the next jam.
RCRD would like to shout out all our volunteers that make PBR tournament possible. It takes a village to get a tournament like this going. So huge shout out to all our volunteers that are spending their whole weekend here with us at GRCC.
Those volunteers include our non-skating officials, so the folks you see that are not on skate standing in the center of the track and by the penalty box, scoreboard, all of those little jobs are made up of dedicated team members from River City and from all over. We appreciate them so much. And just remember, folks, if you're ever interested in joining roller derby and you don't know how to skate, that is okay. We have positions for everybody, whether you want to have some contact on the track, if you want to just ref, or if you'd like to be a non-skating official. We are always seeking new volunteers. So if you'd like to find out when our next orientation is going to be sure to follow River City Roller Derby on Instagram.
We will definitely support your lack of violence or your pro-violence, really.
While we consider this official review, we're going to talk about one of our other sponsors, Body Arc, fitness that is independent of the noise.
Lots of vendors here today at GRCC. We want to thank Sacred Roller Skate Supply. Quote, I don't know, man, just say something nice about Sacred. Local, queer-owned, also a sponsor we love. Thank you, Sacred.
Since this is being recorded on the live stream, I will now testify my love for Sacred Roller Skate Supply. They are amazing people. They will help you with whatever you need, and they're located in Northern Virginia, so just a short drive away if you need anything from them. And they're also located in the back here today.
Very knowledgeable about all skating things.
Skaters out there on the jam line, brought to you by Plug It Up Podcast, a horror movie podcast with a monstrous feminine. So we see a little bit of line dancing happening out there. Skaters trying to keep warm as they wait for this official review to conclude.
We have some other sponsors here. Vinyl Conflict. Thank you, Vinyl Conflict, for your sponsorship. And Heartfelt Tattoo. Thank you, Heartfelt Tattoo. I feel like tattooing and roller derby go pretty hand in hand.
And jam is back on. Greenville's pivot, just trying to hold down the line there at the front. That's going to be number 33, I believe. That's Peanut Butter and Jam. What a great derby name. Tries to hold back the Twin Valleys jammer, but that's going to be, I believe, Shaw, number 3, out there again as lead jammer for Twin Valleys.
Stormy Skies got out second, number 95, hitting the back of the pack.
It's going to be Stormy Skies. Multiplayer penalty going to be assessed on Panamaniac out there. With pin pushing again, just dominating that outside line, running back Stormy. Leading directly into, I believe that's Luger out there. And again, really commending Twin Valley's partner work as they've had really phenomenal 2 walls during this game. Greenville still up the front, holding Shaw back though, not allowing Shaw to get through to get any more points, just recycling that jammer. Now going into the bridge, trying to space that out, and Shaw is able to tiptoe their way through the pack and get out finally at the end here. With a 10-point difference currently.
Big hit in the front again by pin pushing. Greenville jammer trying to work that front 2 wall. Having some trouble there.
And I believe that's actually Cupcake out there, not Luger. Cupcake and pin pushing have had great 2 walls up at the front here. Shaw going up against 252. That's going to be Flannable Lecter.
And number 15 up front did a little bit of work too. Danny Banani. That is also a great derby name.
Shaw gets hits to the outside line and calls off the jam. Both teams scoring some points, so we'll have to wait and see what the scoreboard tells us in just a moment.
I'm hanging on for another lead change. Bridge Trolls 83, Mountain Mayhem 71. Woo!
Bridge Trolls trying really hard to keep that 10-point spread from happening. Greenville signals to the bench that they needed 1 more, but unfortunately did not field that blocker in time. Jam is on with Tornado Alley for Twin Valleys Roller Derby. And that looks like it's going to be number 187 for Greenville. That's Murder Blossom out there as lead jammer.
TVRD's blocker Tornado Alley shortly behind. Both jammers are now in the pack trying to score points.
Greenville offers a little bit of O and gets their jammer out, calling it off.
Both teams did score points on that jam. I think maybe 2 to 3.
Jam is on with Black Bolt out there for Twin Valleys Roller Derby. Beautiful inside footwork once again from Black Bolt, getting lead jam out the gate from our Plug It Up podcast jam line. With number 2, that's going to be Ann Rowland out there again for Greenville.
Got recycled to the back and coming back up to Twin Valleys blockers. Stormy Scott.
Hit to the inside there, recycling that jammer back.
Black Bolt through again for another 4-point pass. Skating fast around, trying to hit that pack one more time.
Pass there.
Star Pass brought to you by Tation 2 Star Pass. And
I believe that's Paisley, also known as Peanut Butter and Jam, I believe, out there.
Bridge Trolls 87, Mountain Mayhem 86.
Oh, Twin Valley's coming back with now a 1-point game, everybody. Oh, and Greenville decides now is a great time to call a time off, or timeout.
Time off, timeout. Same
Still
thing.
waking up. If anyone would like to bring me a coffee, I'd be very grateful.
If you're here with us at GRCC this weekend in Richmond, Virginia, don't forget about our raffle. We have a ton of awesome raffle baskets that will be raffled off throughout the whole weekend here at PBR. So check them out. Get some tickets, win some things, and bring them home.
Another one of our vendors this weekend. We have Tilted Hit Curios, Derby owned, Dead Stuff, ethically made oddities and art, queer owned.
As we mentioned before, there is a ton of games back-to-back this weekend here in Richmond, Virginia. Our next game is going to be Naptown Warning Bells versus River City Rats. River City River Rats. I always forget the extra river in their name, but I love them so much. So definitely stay tuned and check them out.
Timeout has ended. And again, we're going into a 1-point game currently with Twin Valleys really picking up some points in the last few jams. Closing in on what's been a consistent 10-point spread with Shaw, number 3, out there for Twin Valleys jamming.
Shaw's had a great game. Really good at working those walls up.
And that looks like number 20, Snatchbox, out there for Green Valley. One of our Green Valley blockers, 401, getting sent to the box. That's going to be Trip Abroad, which is by far my favorite Derby name.
Shaw fell backwards through that last blocker and got lead jammer. Ouch and yay.
Snatchbox has removed the helmet cover, but decides to get out on her own and is able to escape the pack.
Shaw, what lead jammer said, is hitting the back of the pack, trying to work up and get those last few points.
Opening up that inside with a big hit there by 252. That's Flannable Lecter. Snatchbox gets through despite a big hit there. Going into this next jam, it looks like we have a few points that were scored. Let's see if we've gotten a lead change. Bridge Trolls, 91. Mountain Mayhem, 89.
Taking advantage of that distraction, getting those last few points. And the jam's on.
Ultraviolet out there getting hit to the inside. And we have number 187. That's going to be Murder Blossom escaping for lead jam for Greenville with a panty pass there to Tornado Alley.
Tornado Alley Star Pass, sponsored by Station 2 Star Pass.
Ultraviolet attempts to move from the jamming position to block and hold 187. That's going to be Murder Blossom. But Murder Blossom escapes and calls it off as we go into this next jam. Flannable Lecter dances onto the track there at the last second.
I think we need a dancing sponsor.
I think the skirt helps. It really gives like a flair to those hops on the track. Jam is on. Black Bolt out there for Twin Valleys Roller Derby.
Both jammers stuck there in the pack.
Some beautiful clearance there by number 15. That's going to be Danny Banani just really recycling up to reform that wall as a brace. That's some quick footwork. Both these jammers racing through trying to escape. And it looks like Greenville, number 2, Ann Rowland is going to be lead jammer.
Black Bolt took the star helmet cover off there.
Looks like we might have a pass to pin push in number 8. It's been a very formidable blocker for Twin Valleys so far this game. And Rowland stuck behind the Twin Valleys wall in the back, trying to get through to get a few more points.
Pin cushion with the helmet cover on, but still trying to get through. Got knocked to the outside.
It looks like Luger will be going to the box for Twin Valleys, and a track cut is being assessed to, I believe that's Greenville's pivot out there. It's going to be 121. Wasteland. Both teams now down a blocker. Making it smooth for pin pushing to get through on that inside line, but Ann Rowland is still lead jammer. Trying to score a few more points. Number 15, that's going to be Danny Banani, knocks pin push into the outside line there.
Greenville Jammers still working up the front. TVRD reforming, and woo!
I'm now convinced that you block better in a skirt, honestly. I might have to get a skirt for next season, which I don't think I've done since I started Derby.
Oh, you block better in a skirt?
I think I might after watching them.
Are we going to try it?
Yeah, I think an entire game of skirts would be great. All right, Bridge
whatever
Trolls
works.
103 to Mountain Mayhem 92. 13 minutes left in this game.
People starting to roll into the GRCC. I guess it was a little too early earlier this morning, but I think everyone's had their coffee and things are rolling like they should.
Beautiful outside line work there by Tornado Alley, getting lead jammer for Twin Valleys Roller Derby with number 95. That's going to be Stormy Skies right behind.
It's going to be a close one. Number 813 with a little tap and the call off. And it was a 1-2 jam.
Greenville hustled to that jam line, brought to you by Plug It Up Podcast, a horror movie podcast about the monstrous feminine.
If you're getting hungry, like I always am, we have a concession stand. Our hours will be today from 4:30 to 8:30 behind me.
Which I believe will be during the third game, our second to last game of the night. You'll be able to get some food if you need it. Jam is on with currently we have up in the front Greenville's jammer trying to push through this tripod, but Shaw is able to get through separating that pack and is able to get lead jam for Twin Valleys.
Greenville's jammer still stuck in the pack there.
Murder Blossom still working their way through and finally escapes the pack.
Shaw approaching the back of the pack.
Both packs really spread out here as we go into this jam, giving Shaw an advantage to try to wiggle through and get some additional points. Calls it off, though, before Murder Blossom is able to pick up any more. Multiple times now I've seen blockers just fall to the jam line, but it's theirs. They've claimed it.
It's yours. You can
You
have
got to
it.
do what you got to do. Shout out to the fifth blocker, the floor, who wins every game, unfortunately. Jam is on. Both packs just really agile right now with a lot of lateral footwork. Tornado Alley sneaking through with some 180 toe stop work on that inside line.
Snatch
getting
back.
lead jam.
Snatchbox with the helmet cover off, looking for their pivot.
And I believe that's Peanut Butter and Jam, who's been really good at staying on the jammers consistently. We love to see a skater that can do both offensive and defensive work back to back like that.
It is a special talent for sure.
And Tornado Alley gets through once again.
Greenville still stuck behind the TVRD wall, but did get the pass.
Helmet cover to number 33, I believe that's Peanut Butter and Jam. With Tornado Alley getting through on, I believe, the third pass so far. Jam is called off before Peanut Butter and Jam can pick up any points.
Peanut Butter and Jam. It really is a great derby
But
name.
we still want to shout out A Trip Abroad, which I feel like is still my favorite derby name of the day so far.
Which one? Trip Abroad.
Number 401. We love you. 2 points separating as we go into this next jam with under 10 minutes left on the clock.
You got Unholy Trinity, number 3, with a brace up there in the front for Greenville.
Black Bolt just slipping through on that inside again like it's nothing. Gets lead jam for Twin Valleys. We see both of these teams picking up the pace as it's gotten slightly more and more aggressive as we play on. Both teams really want to take this win to start the weekend off right.
Huge shout out to Shaw, who's not only been jamming, but also is bracing now on the front 3 wall there. Beautiful reforming. Both jammers stuck behind strong defense.
Murder Blossom stuck here behind a wall of Twin Valley skaters. Hasn't given up just yet. Black Bolt gets through on that inside line once again, looking for the Greenville offense. Panamaniac, though, I'm sorry, that's Shaw, actually. Now hitting the jammer to the inside, allowing Black Bolt to get through and get a couple more points. And we now have a lead change. And it looks like we might be getting a penalty on our Greenville jammer, waiting to see. Yes, and unfortunately, it does look like Murder Blossom will be going to the box. Black Bolt has a power jam brought to you by My Pussy's in Hell podcast. Listen, y'all, they must have donated a lot of money. We love them. Your favorite Gruesome Twosome podcast.
I'll just keep pointing this paper for you, Smack.
I knew what I was doing. I'll say the thing. I'll do the thing. You'll get to hear me say it again in the next game, I suppose, too. Little Swole Maid will be running off to do some
lots of shout-outs.
bench work. I'll stay here, though.
Many hats, many hats.
Starting off in a power jam with Ultraviolet out there for Twin Valleys, we have a lead change, y'all, with Bridge Trolls 105, Mountain Mayhem 115. Finally beating that spread, but it is still a 10-point game.
So close.
It's been a nail-biter for sure. Ultraviolet with some fun two-steps there to the inside, but one of our Greenville blockers takes them down.
Flannable Lecter, that was a beautiful hit. Ultraviolet still trying to get through.
Flannable directing that team to skate up a little bit faster, and now a two-wall holds in the front. We have the jammers escape the box, but Ultraviolet is finally out to get lead jam.
Twin Valley forcing that bridge work and getting that lead jammer status. Ultraviolet hit the pack and did a little backwards dipping through.
Oh, but not before PBJ takes a helmet cover. I thought we were going to see a nice little layout at the end there, but that's fine. That's okay. I'll wait.
We're getting overzealous here.
We love to see it. I love a little jammer on jammer action. It gets me going in the morning.
It is the best. It's better than coffee, for sure.
Mountain Mayhem takes a few more points, now at 119 to 105. Trying to get as many points as they can as we have 6 minutes remaining in this game. Up next, it'll be Naptown's B team against the River City River Rats.
Huge.
Shaw gets through on that inside line for lead jammer once again.
Shaw took that inside wide open.
95 right behind, though. That's Stormy Skies for Greenville. Both teams preparing for impact by these jammers. Little bump to the outside line there by 401 by Greenville. Oh, and a ref down.
Stormy Skies kind of fell through the pack there, but it doesn't matter. Those points count. Jammers neck and neck.
Stormy Skies right behind Shaw. TVRD holding with a strong wall in the back. While Shaw goes up against a separated wall here in the front. Gets another set of points with Stormy right behind consistently.
They are best friends this jam, best friends.
Both these jammers realize they need to get as many points as possible while they can as the clock is winding down.
Shaw playing a little D there. There's a little jammer on jammer for you, Smack.
I need more. More and more aggressive.
Smack and I choose violence, you know, it's okay.
I haven't played in a few months, y'all. It's built up. Spill to the inside line there. Brought to you by number 3. That's going to be Unholy Trinity. Looks like A Cupcake will be going to the box. Ooh, opening up that inside line for Stormy Skies to pick up a few more points.
There's a Twin Valley pile up there in the middle for a second.
Panamaniac offers some O for Shaw on that outside.
Looks like Unholy Trinity got a multiplayer block.
And Shaw decides to call it off with both teams now down a blocker in the box.
Point spread's changing just a little bit. Bridge Trolls 117, Mountain Mayhem 131. Twin Valley trying to get that spread, keep their lead.
Quite a change here in the last 5 minutes or so of this game. As we've had Bridge Trolls holding that lead consistently throughout majority of this game. Mountain Mayhem coming back with a vengeance, though, for these last few jams. With a timeout called by Twin Valleys to assess the situation with maybe about 2 to 3 more jams left in this game.
I feel like they're devising a plan to try to win. I don't know. That's maybe what I would do.
Looks like we'll be starting off with Snatchbox from Greenville on the jam line in this next jam. Both teams out here figuring out what they want to do next. Over there on the bench for Twin Valleys, we have Speed Junkie and Psycho, two very long-time players of TVRD and formerly what was Star City, I believe, or New River Valley. I can't remember which one they came from.
Star City.
I think Star City was after NRV, actually. Or maybe they merged, and now they're Twin Valleys.
I can't
my
keep
understanding. And again, for Greenville, this is their first year and their first tournament. So we have a very seasoned team going up against Greenville. And the Bridge Trolls have really just dominated majority of this game. Still anybody's game. There's still points that can be had.
Jam's on.
That's Tornado Alley out there for Twin Valleys and Snatchbox for Greenville. With Snatchbox getting out to get lead jammer for Greenville. Number 57 out there for Greenville, holding down Tornado Alley. Some great two walls up in the front. A tight seam there held by Twin Valleys in the back. Shuts down Snatchbox's momentum. But Snatchbox has not given up and is working away from those jammers' hips, fighting through. And is able to break the seam and now only has to go against one player here at the front. And gets those points and gets out.
Twin Valleys jammers still working in the back, trying to get through. As Snatchbox comes around to score some points. It's like a high block call there.
Snatchback's practicing some patience, is working on going through the skater's hips versus taking the lines right now. Looking for a little help from her friends as Tornado Alley comes back around to score points. Greenville's bench signals to call it off before Tornado Alley can pick up any more points in that jam.
Ooh, 9-point separation. Bridge Trolls 122, Mountain Mayhem 131 with 2 minutes and 41 seconds left.
That's how you know it was a hard jam, because it wasn't a ton of points gained in that last one, but there was a lot of action on the track with maybe just 1 to 2 more jams left in this half. We might get 3. Jam is on again with Black Bolt out there against Ann Rowland. Both of these jammers have been playing their hardest.
Both jammers pushing up the walls. No wiggle room, though. None at all. Strong defense from both teams.
Some good reforming here in the front by Greenville, but unfortunately a down skater will let Black Bolt get through, with now a 2-wall trying to hold Black Bolt back as Greenville's jammer is still stuck in the back here. That's going to be Ann Rowland. Black Bolt recycled back by Flannable.
That was just enough for Greenville jammer to get lead jammer status.
Ann Rowland coming back around to score some points.
Black Bolt now approaching the pack. Crowd's even yelling things to the skaters here.
Black Bolt gets out. Jam is called. Current score, Mountain Mayhem 135, Bridge Trolls 125. 10 points separate these teams with just a minute left in this game.
I love a close game.
What a way to really start off our tournament weekend, y'all. We'll be coming back all day with more derby for you. Thanks to both of these teams that are visiting us here at River City Roller Derby. We're so happy we could have y'all back, especially Twin Valleys as our winner from last season. Ultraviolent out there with a beautiful inside line clearance. Gets lead for Twin Valleys Roller Derby, but not before Stormy Skies also gets through on that inside line.
Let's see what the pack's gonna do.
Ultraviolet gets those points and calls off the jam before Greenville's able to pick up any. 20 seconds left on the clock. We'll see if we'll get one final jam. Looks like we might have a timeout occurring.
I was like,
and Greenville signals for that timeout with 6 seconds remaining. They want that last jam to really see if they can close in on those points. And this jam will determine who wins this game. With it just being 10 points, that's 2 passes for this to potentially be another lead change.
We got one more sponsor for us here, Tri-Cities Gastro. Don't let your colon cancer knock you down. Get your screening colonoscopy starting at age 45.
Give it up for all our visiting skaters this weekend. If you're here for Greenville Roller Derby, give them a shout out real quick.
There we go, there we go.
Let's hear it for Twin Valleys Roller Derby. And of course, we love all of y'all for getting up early this morning and coming out to get the day started with us. To the skaters that are playing right now, I hope you have a day full of rest and relaxation after this game. I hope you eat good and you're ready to come back tomorrow.
Both teams worked really, you can tell they're just working really hard this game, leaving everything they have on the track.
Looks like we have Shaw out there for Twin Valleys and Stormy Skies back on the track for Greenville. Final jam of the game. Danny Banani tries to open up that inside line. Now with a strong tripod in the front, trying to hold Shaw. As 95, Stormy gets out as lead jammer for Greenville.
Stormy is
Will
running.
we see another lead change? Shaw's out as well. This is the final jam. Let's see what happens, y'all. Both teams setting up, not wanting either team to score points. Big hit by 138. That's going to be Cupcake to that outside.
That was a great effort by Greenville, that last jam, trying to really maximize as many points as they can.
Both teams should be so proud. That was some phenomenal derby we saw getting our morning started. Waiting for that final score to come in. We'll have your MVPs for you for this first game in just a moment.
I was thinking Hannibal for Greenville for the blocker, and then for the jammer Shaw.
Yeah.
Shaw, and then Cupcake or Penn for blocker. And then for jammer, I was thinking Hannibal.
Agreed.
Looks like our final score is up on the board. That's going to be 137 Mountain Mayhem winning our first game of the weekend against our Bridge Trolls at 125. 12-point separation, I believe, if my math's right.
Really great game to start off our tournament.
Come on out to the track and say congratulations to both of these teams as they've played some phenomenal derby this morning. And we'll go ahead and announce our MVPs for this game. Our first MVPs of the weekend, our Greenville Jammer is going to be Ann Rowland for MVP Jammer. Ann Rowland. And for Greenville's blocker, it's going to be Flannable Lecter.
And for TVRD MVPs, we have number Pin Pushin' MVP blocker. And Shaw MVP jammer. Come on over to the announcer's table.
Get your team photos and then come on up to the announcing booth to win a patch if you were selected as an MVP. And MVPs, be sure to get a photo afterwards together too. All right, folks. This has been Smack Mamba. I'll be with you for this next game as we go with Naptown against River City.
And I'm the Swole Maid. I will see y'all tomorrow at the announcer's table. But look for me skating, coaching, doing all the things. Yay!